Hey everybody, this is another of what's rumored to be the last generation of LEGO large buildable action figures, at least for now. This is the Range Trooper from the Solo movie, and based on what we've seen from other models of this guy and also official pictures of the fully costumed actors in this suit, this is actually pretty accurate looking. Now, comparing this to a regular Stormtrooper figure, or in this case the plain Stormtrooper variant of the Stormtrooper Commander kind of 2-in-1 set that they did before, the build underneath is actually almost identical. Some things have been swapped around just a little bit, but fundamentally it's the same figure underneath all of it, and a lot of the armor pieces are the same as well. The Range Trooper adds on extra bulk with the cloth pieces, which are important. These are nice, actually, fairly thick, fuzzy pieces. I'll show you that up a little bit closer. But see, they added a little bit of bulk around the waist there. There's a little bit of bulk around the back as well. And then they added on just a piece, which is surprisingly close to perfect for this scale, actually, in shape and size. Onto each of the shins and then also down on top of the boots. There's a little bit of gap here, but it's not bad. So it's actually a pretty good looking thing. Let's take a closer look at that head, because they always do a great job on the head molds for these. This is definitely no exception. They've got some wear marks all over it, and actually my personal favorite parts of this are towards the front, kind of at the end down here. There's just some really, really fine detailing through all those black areas there. The gold visor is pre-printed on there, so there's no additional piece underneath. It's not a two-part helmet or anything. But here up closer you can also see the texture of the fuzzy material here. Like I said, it's fairly thick, thicker than most cloth materials that we've gotten from LEGO, and it's kind of plush. Almost makes it feel doll-like in a way, like it's got an outfit on that you can change or something. Almost has a little bit of a classic G.I. Joe figure kind of feel that it brings together. No printing around the very back, but again, crisp mold details back here. And zooming back out so you can see more of this, look at that pair of gaps here. That's not cool. They added these Borak eye pieces on either side to widen up the torso as viewed from the front, but then you get these big gaps along the sides with the second generation really, Hero Factory, classic torso and armor piece underneath there. And then you just have a small piece to hold on to the lower cloth part, and they do bulk up just the backs of the cowls ever so slightly, like they've done for a while now. The overall effect is pretty good. I think the gaps on the back are actually pretty forgivable, and I just wanted to point out that they are there. For the weapon is actually built a little bit differently from previous ones. This one, rather than having a trigger underneath, has a trigger on top. So the dark gray right there is what they've set up to be the trigger. You've got kind of the extended magazine coming off the side there, and this is set up right. It almost looks wrong with the scope, but this is how it's intended to be. And as usual, they have one extra shot off the side as just a spare, but one is loaded in there right now. 2 in total included in the set. You just push down on the top and just shoots right out. And they've done this in white to go with the snow camo, which is accurate and everything, and then he's wearing gloves, which in this case are dark tan. Honestly, articulation is modest with this one, with the way the arm add-on armor pieces are oriented here. Just they put the bulky parts together, the widest portions together close to the elbows, so that just kind of limits how far you can go with that. But you're still able to get some decent looking poses, and just the proportions of this figure overall make it look pretty believable to me. So like you just kind of need to work with that. The legs have more articulation than they need. You are limited a little bit with the ankle just going up because of the extra bulking pieces, but you can actually use this toe area and actually use that as a flat surface right there, almost like a ballerina's shoe. I don't know the names of what they use there, but they got that flat spot on the end, so you can actually use that to create some balance there. See if I can get this to actually work properly. It needs to angle back just a little bit, but yeah, so you can do that. So you end up being able to use more articulation, or kind of create some faux articulation there that's able to create some stability where just, you have a little bit of limitation of actual movement there. I'm not sure how much of that you would actually use and for what purposes. I'm assuming that this would not be a very agile character in universe with all the bulk that it carries. And also these are supposed to be gravity boots, so I'm assuming this is going to be working in conditions with high winds and or low gravity to begin with, less than Earth gravity. So probably would not be able to move around quite a lot. Doesn't have any maneuvering thrusters that I can see suggested here, so probably would be fairly ground bound. Yeah, it has some limitations, but overall I really like the look of the thing. Nice printing for the main body armor here as well. And you see just a little bit more behind those add-on pieces. Yeah, as things go, it's a pretty simple and straightforward build with just a basic torso beneath. Let me actually pop this off to show you just how basic it is. Just the most traditional original styling for CCBS character and creature building system builds, unlike many of the more interesting Star Wars figures have been. But yeah, straightforward, but it does the job. It gives you a good look. In terms of value, this is the same price as other figures of the same size from the buildable action figure range since late 2016, so no changes there. They didn't charge you extra for the specialized cloth pieces, fortunately. So, it's kind of what it is. There's nothing new in terms of the value, or nothing particularly noteworthy. It's been debatable since the beginning just how much value these figures have and how much value they really bring to the market relative to smaller yet much more highly detailed figures that are not buildable from competitors. When they do these ones that have a lot of armor and have full helmets on, they can look really cool and you can put them into some pretty good poses, but they are definitely not as durable for play, for real action use. Kids get into trying to pose things and things start to pop off and such, so they're not quite a substitute for regular action figures. And I think some of the compromises that have to be made in terms of value, size, reusability, and buildability, customizability, and stuff like that start to hurt the value that kids in general really get out of these, and collectors have not seemed to take well to them, and I can understand that. So I'm not surprised by the rumors that this entire line is coming to an end. It's sad, but seemed like it was inevitable. We'll see if the rumors end up being true, but I think they probably will. Regardless, that's it for my review of this specific figure. Hope that I showed you everything you wanted to see, and I'll talk to you again soon.